New tonight, more financial turmoil in a major northern Kentucky city that's already in the spotlight for previous accounting and money issues. This time, a labor dispute involving firefighters that could wind up costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. As part of our ongoing Waste Watch series, James Pilcher has been tracking what's been going on in the city of Fort Thomas and joins us live from the downtown area with a story you'll see only on Local 12 News. James?
Last summer, the police here in northern Kentucky's third largest city received a 2% pay raise and other perks and agreed to disband their union. Members of the firefighters union here say their contract entitles them to the same raises, and now they're making their fight public.
So we're not asking for anything more than the city already promised.
That's Fort Thomas firefighter Matt Bryant, a former president and the current grievance chair for the city's branch of the International Association of Firefighters. Bryant says the union's contract includes a so-called equity clause, meaning the city needs to match any raises or benefits given to other work groups. But possibly because the police decertified their union just before getting the raises and benefits, that didn't happen. So the union has filed not only a grievance over the unmatched pay raise, but an unfair labor practice complaint with the state labor board over another added perk. Bryant says the police deal was negotiated by the previous union for a year and a half before the final deal was reached.
They negotiated as a bargaining unit. And in fact, they actually come back and forth and talk about, I've got documents where they all signed agreeing to what would happen when they gave up their collective bargaining agreement.
Bryant says if the city had agreed to match the raises right away, the bill would have been $188,000. But now that figure is more than $300,000 given back pay. The dispute comes as city leaders face other questions about financial mismanagement, with Fort Thomas writing off $322,000 due to what has been called sloppy accounting. And city manager Matthew Kramer paid a $277,000 pension payment to the state without city council approval as required by law, a payment mistakenly entered twice, although only paid once. Those issues have led at least one city councilman here to ask for Kramer to resign.
I think the cleanest exit would be for our city administrator to resign.
I emailed Kramer twice asking what the city's position is regarding the labor dispute and why the city doesn't feel the firefighters' equity clause applies here. In an email, Kramer declined comment on what he called possible future litigation.
What guarantees can you make to the citizens of Fort Thomas that this is not going to impact public safety in any way, that this dispute?
That's perfectly fair. That's a good question because we don't ever want to jeopardize any of our citizens. So this has actually been going on since last December, and we have not changed anything in the way we operate. Our staffings remain the same. Our professionalism has remained the same.
Yeah, but to that point, Brian also said this dispute could make it more difficult to recruit new firefighters when it's already hard to get people to enter the field. The union representing the city's other public works employees also has a similar equity clause. A representative there declined comment. Live in Fort Thomas, James Pilcher, Local 12 News.
All right, James, and preliminary hearings for the state unfair labor complaint begin Monday with scheduling conferences, while an arbitrator is expected to hear the case over the unmatched raises sometime next spring. In the meantime, Fort Thomas Mayor Eric Haas is still out on medical leave, and a council member tells us he is not expected to return. The Fort Thomas City Council is expected to meet in January to officially end his term and pick an interim mayor who will serve until the next general election next year.